Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome to today's podcast.
Here we are.
So, how do I greet a pilot? Is it hi, Captain, or how is it done? I'm not sure. I always call sir, ma'am as a customer or
Like,
as a flyer.
like you can call us captain. Like once you finish your CPL, like they do call us captain.
Okay, right. So,
Yeah,
thanks a lot for taking your time. First of all, accepting the invitation to the
yeah,
podcast. Please introduce yourself. Everybody knows that you are a pilot, but still something more about yourself. Yeah.
yeah. So, hey everyone, I am Saiditi and I'm from Bangalore. I completed my schooling in Bangalore and I graduated from Mount Carmel. My interest in aviation actually started after my 10th. Until then, I had never really imagined myself of becoming a pilot. But once I started learning more about aviation, I
Mhm.
realized this is a career which I wanted to pursue. That one decision eventually led me in completing my commercial pilot license, and I am
Okay.
here to say that I am proud that I'm a CPL holder today.
Oh, wow.
It's been a journey filled with a lot of learnings, discipline, and experiences that not only made me a pilot but also as a person. I'm a trained violinist. I love art and painting, and I do ride bikes. So
Okay.
somewhere I feel like, yeah, those things help me boosting my confidence in becoming and entering into aviation. So I'm really happy to be here today to share my journey, my experience, and hopefully like a lot of inspiring young youth who's planning to becoming a pilot. It'll be a helpful podcast.
Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to it. So, Captain, intriguing, mysterious. It's wow always. Wow, a pilot. That's the first comment you get. But as you rightly mentioned, you go through a lot of experience. Have you
Yes.
experienced fear? Not now, of course, now you're a trained professional pilot, but still before that, have you ever experienced fear? Was there a time when you didn't know exactly? After going through the training, also maneuvering an aircraft, a plane is not that easy. So, can you tell us something about fear? Because generally people keep speaking about fear.
Yeah. So I think every pilot experience moments like challenging them, and especially during the training, initial training. For me, I wouldn't say it'll be like fear, but I would have taken as a deep sense of responsibility because this uniform comes with it. So there's one moment which I'll never forget is my very first solo flight. Like I still remember like I was preparing for every single day and studying and flying with my instructor and waiting for every single day when I'll be released. And then the 18th of August 2024 came. So I still remember the day so clearly. Instructor looked at me and he's like, "You'll do it, right?" And I still remember his words. Those few words meant like everything to me. He stepped out of the aircraft and he's like, "You're good to go." So when I lined up onto the runway and applied the full power, and the aircraft took, and it was the first feeling can like any pilot will ever feel is like, oh, the aircraft is actually lighter. And I
Oh,
think this is almost,
okay.
yeah, I think this is a feeling almost every pilot remembers from the first solo. So there's always this butterflies, fear, and that excitement and nervousness at the same time. But once I was airborne, all the training I received started taking over. The every
Okay.
checklist, every radio call, and every procedure became like my second nature. And I
Hmm.
turned on to the final approach and I was like, I should just make a good landing. And when it was the touchdown time, I landed safely. And I was like, that was such an incredible feeling. I still
Okay.
remember till today. Everyone has each and every different way of putting it out there. But I feel like for a very initial trainer, this would be like something they'll always remember for.
Wow, that's great. So
Yeah.
thank you for taking us through that first journey because that's very special. It's always special. However experienced you become, you will never forget that
Yeah.
day, the date. Okay. So everybody has got a childhood dream, and it's not necessary
Yeah.
that they fulfill it. And many people in the audience or the viewers, somewhere they are listening to our podcast, hopefully, they wouldn't have become a pilot in spite of the aspirations or the dreams, or there could be some young learners or students who really want to become a pilot. So, how determined, how persistent were you when you decided or when you really dreamt of flying a plane? So, for a small child, it's always plane flying high and me controlling a plane. I can go high up in the sky without the wings. So, and we all keep changing our childhood dreams. But in your case, when did you realize that this is my dream and I'm going to take this seriously? How persistent were you? How determined were you towards this profession?
I think like my journey was a little different from other people usually
Okay.
expect. A lot of people's pilots say that I wanted to become a pilot when I was 5 years old. That's the usual comment which I always hear.
Okay.
But mine was after 10th. So during my 11th and 12th, it was there as a dream in the back of my head, but then COVID hit. Like at one point, I thought I genuinely felt like there's no way that I'm gonna become a pilot. Maybe the doors were closed for me. So I decided to pursue my degree. But then here's something I always remember so clearly. During the lockdown days, I would often spend the time in my terrace, as most of us would. So there used to be planes which used to fly over, and I was always thinking of, I wish I was there. And I felt like that keep pushing me.
Okay.
Then, even while I was completing my graduation, aviation was always there. And after I graduated, I asked myself one simple question: why don't I give it one more try? And honestly, that one decision changed my life today. Looking back today, I am so glad I listened to that younger voice that kept telling me not to give up. Sometimes all it takes is the courage to make one more attempt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
that's what I
Wow,
would say.
beautifully put. Okay, so there are people listening to you. There are students, college students perhaps, and many of them maybe want to become a pilot, irrespective of the gender. There is no gender in any profession today, especially here
Yeah.
in this profession. So, what are the three things that you would like to tell the young, aspiring pilots? Maybe they want to become one in the future because everything is glitters when you look at a pilot, the uniform, the dignity, the decorum, the hardships, discipline, we know about everything, and every profession comes with a lot of training, lot of, I would say, vigorous hard trainings. But keeping that aside, people just go for this profession. Some of them, at least, they think I want to become a pilot because of the glamour or maybe the glittering aspect. So, what is it that you would like to tell the upcoming pilots, aspiring people who look at this profession in awe? Of course, it is a proud moment, as you mentioned in the beginning, but otherwise, when you look from the ground level, from the reality point of view, is there anything that you would like to say to the aspiring part of the audience?
So I would start with the good part, then go to the bad part.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I think the biggest advice I would give is don't choose aviation because it looks glamorous from the outside, or you choose it because if you truly love to fly. Because today's social media shows you the cockpit views, the uniforms, the layovers, and all the beautiful destinations. But very few people talk about the reality behind all the uniform. So the first reality is money. Becoming a commercial pilot in India or abroad is very expensive. Like depending on your ground school training, then flying cost, then type rating, and the airline training, it almost cost us 1 crore and even more. So I wish most of the people look this part very deeply. And the second reality is time. There is no guaranteed timeline. Some people think like completing the training it might take like within 2 years, but while others it might take much longer because of the weather or the aircraft maintenance, the DGCA exams, or medical and personal circumstances. And the third thing I wish people knew is the uncertainty of job, because getting your CPL does not automatically mean that you'll be sitting in the cockpit the coming month.
Mm.
Like airline recruitment is very tough. Like the vacancies are never standard, and like the market demand and your performance and the selection process, they're all very hard on you. And this may take like even longer than you expected. And finally, this journey will always test your emotions. So
Yeah.
there will be days where you'll question yourself. like what do you say, like things might not go according to plan, or even when you wonder like, if I am I even making progress? So before
Hmm.
you choose aviation, ask yourself this one question: if the journey becomes harder or longer or more expensive, will I still choose this path? If your
Yeah.
answer is yes,
Go for
then
it.
you are entering a good profession for the
Yeah.
right reasons. Because
Okay.
aviation just is not built for like normal people like you. Yeah, I'll take, I want to become a pilot because I'm seeing on social media. So I feel like you have to put your heart and soul into it.
Right. Yeah, that's correct. Yes, and that's very practical, pragmatic
Yeah.
approach to understanding a course or a profession. Okay, so just now I mentioned that there's no gender in most of the professions. We know when it comes to pilot training also, but still our society is different. Even now, though we belong to a culture-oriented, or you can say cordial, tolerating environment, most of the time people look at some professions with a double view, or they may have different
Yes.
perspectives. So, where was there any time in your life, or were there times in your life where you experienced a slightly different perspective, or maybe a comment or a remark where people said, "You're going for pilot training"? But was there any time when a community or when a society slightly paused a remark, or it's not about just discouraging a person, that can happen anytime.
Yes.
But was there any different attitude from a society or from a group of people? How encouraging were they to you during your course, during your journey?
I would definitely say yes. Like when people asked about me, like, why do you want to choose this career? Because there's so many obstacles. But usually for me, the biggest obstacle was not like choosing flying or exams.
Mm.
Like for me, it was leaving home, to be honest. Like for the first time in my life, I had to like leave my parents, leave my city, and completely start a life from scratch, which not many people will think about. It's also like one of the biggest obstacles because it'll affect you emotionally.
Okay.
So, will I be really able to do this? All such questions always came. Because becoming a pilot was not just like in the cockpit and training, it also tests you outside the cockpit, I believe. So, there were many days when I missed home so much. My friends did often say, like, why do you want to take so much risk? You're putting in so much money. Like, mostly people go for a 9 to 5 or
Yeah.
like IT. And I'm very grateful for my parents because they always supported me no matter what. They
Mm.
trusted me to let me chase my dreams, and
Okay.
sending their daughter far from home. Not many parents would do that
Do that.
today, I still
Exactly.
believe.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you're gonna dream big, make sure you make them sit and talk and explain exactly why you want to do it. And I feel like eventually, like they'll help you and they'll understand like why you want to do it. Even in the hardest days, like they're gonna be there.
Mm.
So I feel like the first thing you have to put is like a parents, and
Okay.
it'll be the best thing. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So good, productive discussions should be there, make them understand because they are also eventually a part of this journey. It's not about success or getting the certification, but they are definitely a part of your journey, right? And glad to know about
Yes.
that. Good. The final question is, the night sky is always mysterious. It's beautiful, as we always describe. Standing on the terrace, wow, you imagine, you write poetry, everything. So, maneuvering an aircraft, I don't know whether it's challenging in the night, during the night. I know it's beautiful. Cockpit view will definitely be beautiful because the aerial view is always beautiful for the passengers like us.
Uh,
What about a
yes.
pilot? How challenging, how easy, or how beautiful is it for you?
So whenever someone asks me like how's night flying, the first word that comes into my head is it is magical. No, like even the part like the hard work, the maneuvering is there. I still remember there was a flight which I took to Mysore. It was like my first cross country flight. As
Okay.
we got closer to the city, I looked down and there was the Mysore Palace. It was completely illuminated, like
Wow.
like almost like 1,000 feet above, and it was like almost breathtaking views. It's one of those moments like I'll never forget in the rest of my life. But people often ask me, do pilot get tired of these views? And honestly, I don't think so. Like every sunset or sunrise and every city glowing in the night, every flight has something unique to offer. Not only to the passengers, even for us. And
Yes.
that makes us, the work stress, all that reduces. But at the same time, the moment you're in the cockpit, you know that the beauty can never be a distraction from
Yeah.
your responsibility. Yeah, and at night there are very fewer visual references for us compared to the day. So
Okay.
you mostly rely on your instruments, and your training and your situational awareness has to be at its peak. And
Okay.
that's why night flying teaches you to stay calm, disciplined, and also be like trust yourself before the aircraft can even make like be one step ahead of the aircraft. So
Okay.
yes, night flying is incredibly beautiful. Also, it gives you good memories, but it also makes you to learn greater, and you become a greater pilot, and you get those confidence in the night than compared to the day. So I
Okay.
believe for me, every time I think about night flying, the first picture comes to me is the Mysore Palace. Yes, definitely it is so beautiful. And also like night flying is very nice, I would
Oh,
say that.
wow. That's great. So we have come towards the end of the podcast. So I would say that you are a girl who dreamt big and you fulfilled that
Yes.
mission. Still, you are definitely aspiring to maybe fly higher. You may want to capture and gain those heights of achievements. There's still more to go. Maybe this is the beginning
Yes.
of a greater journey, a greater vision, a bigger perspective. And I'm sure that many people will definitely benefit from this podcast.
I will tell all the audience, whoever is seeing, like a big thanks to you for giving me this opportunity. And also, please, guys, follow her and share and listen to it because she's such a good interviewer. Like, she is great. I would
Thank
tell
you.
this to your audience, though.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank
You
you.
make one, like, see, I'm a stranger to you, but you make me comfortable. So, that's not everything. That's not someone like every person can do that. So it's a good job which you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thanks for being a part of this podcast. May all your dreams come true. And I hope we
Thank
meet
you so
somewhere
much.
when I fly.
Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe this is the beginning of another big journey. We don't know, but thanks a lot. All the
Yeah.
best.
Thank you
Bye
so
bye.
much.
Bye bye.